Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Remotely. Hi.
Hi, how are things in Maryland, GR Dad?
Cold. Really cold.
They're not cold here.
I'm the old man who yells at the weather now. It's 20 degrees. I mean, it's not Midwest cold. It's not single digits or worse, but it's 20 degrees is legitimately cold.
It's too cold.
I'm not complaining about 40. I'm complaining about 20.
We had talked about when you get home on Saturday, going out to dinner to eat at Blue Heaven, where we eat outside.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like 58.
Jeez, I might as well just go out here and freeze my butt off.
It's going to be 58 all day on Sunday.
Yeah, 58 in shorts and no socks is as bad as 20 in
It's a real cold snap.
Yeah, you're going to be losing some lizards, some iguanas.
Yeah. I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
We can soothe our hurt hearts with alcohol because the cocktail of the week is called the Cosmonaut, which is another one that I picked just for the name. It's gin, lemon juice, and raspberry preserves. But I got to say, if it's a Cosmonaut, it should be vodka, lemon juice, and raspberry preserves.
Otherwise, it's an astronaut. Or if it's gin, it should be like the British astronaut. Yeah.
Anyway, it's 2 ounces of gin or vodka if you want to do it right. 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice and a teaspoon of raspberry preserves, and you just shake it all up and you get a red drink. Cosmonaut.
The name doesn't really relate to the drink very much. It's just a cool name.
Especially because it has gin.
Yeah.
A Cosmonaut has to have vodka.
And if it's red...
Fine, I'm changing it.
I guess red is communist. I was thinking red is blood, which is bad.
Oh, no, I think it's red like the Soviet Union.
Oh, I thought it was red like, someone explodes in their capsule or something.
Oh, that's really dark.
Well, that's where I went. Space is a bitch, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Have you heard that recording of the Cosmonaut burning up on re-entry?
No.
It was a woman. Oh, my God. So, Yuri Gagarin, right?
Yeah,
He's
first man in space.
First man in space. Actually, no. If you dig around on the internet, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. There's actual recordings. The theory is that they actually launched a woman into space first. And she died on re-entry. Like her space capsule overheated and burned up and she died. And so the Soviet Union didn't want to tell anybody that they had launched a person into space and they died. So Yuri Gagarin was actually the second. And there are these recordings that apparently some Italian people had set up, hobbyists, not government, had set up some kind of satellite dish receiver thing where they were able to intercept Soviet space communications, and they had a recording of this. And so there's this woman speaking Russian, talking about it getting hot. So who knows how legit it is, but it's a really interesting rabbit hole to go down on the internet. And frankly, way in line with shit the Soviet Union would have done.
Yeah, well, and they always do say he's the first man in space.
Yeah. So
maybe for once they're actually being careful with the pronoun.
Anyway, you want to give us some dog updates? I don't really have very many.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they're crazy brothers. They've really formed a play bond where, I think people who watch the snaps know that they get up in the morning and they go outside and they beat the crap out of each other. Then they have breakfast. Then they bite each other some more out there. And Voods gets all wet ears from Remy's mouth. And he gets a little dirty. And then Remy eats some sticks. And then they come back in. They sleep for a long time. And then they beat on each other again. I mean, they're very... very in tune on this play thing, both in schedule and intensity and having fun.
It's awesome.
So that's been a new development and great. Vood seems pretty perky these days for him, and I don't think the school has hurt him any. I think he's been real on top of stuff.
We were talking on Monday night. And Michael, the trainer, had made a joke about how active Voods was and Voods doing agility. And I said, tell Michael tomorrow that I bet him $50 he can't get Voods to go through the agility tunnel. That's the tube that sits on the ground that dogs run through in agility competitions. And I knew he would try when I said that. Yeah. And it 7:30 in the morning, I get a text with a video of Vood going through the agility tunnel.
I didn't even tell him it was $50. I just said, Jen says it's impossible that Voods would go through that tunnel. And his eyes lit up and he gave a big grin. He's like, okay. And I think 10 minutes later, you sent that video of like Voods going
And he kind of walked Voods over to the tunnel,
yeah.
and he pushed his butt in there. And then Voods, like, he'd been playing with some other dog at camp, and the other dog was at the other end, like, play bowing at him, and Voods, pew, shoots out of the other end of the tunnel. So it worked.
Yeah. And
it wasn't curved. Normally they have it curved. It was straight. But whatever. I thought he'd go in and then, like, lay down or do a no.
And that was,
he went through it.
The end of that day was also, I think as Michael was bringing Remy out to my car, Voods decided he was going to jump into a big mud puddle.
Yeah.
Michael's like, I haven't seen him play before. He really was galloping today. I said, yeah, he does. Galloping Voods is a thing. You may not know.
It totally is. So anyway, today is Wednesday that we're recording, and it was their last day of training, and Michael actually came to the house and did some training with GR Dad.
Trained me. Trained the trainer.
Trained both of you, or all three of you. And now that means that Voods is done eating things that are not his foods, right, Ingo?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. He just doesn't do it in front of me, because the whole point of this training is we've got to catch him in the act so we can tell him it's bad. Although I suspect he's smarter than he looks. Although Michael did refer to him, he keeps contrasting Remy, who's motivated but just doesn't know how to do stuff, but he's super motivated and excited, kind of like Guac was. And then he's like, well, Voodoo's more apathetic. I like to call him apathetic. And then at some point he's like, well, Voodoo's a potato, so he's not really a problem for this, So he is kind of a potato.
Totally a potato.
Anyway,
he's my pinto bean.
The bedroom up here the bedroom is upstairs. And the dogs have been sleeping downstairs. And occasionally Voods will get like 3 steps up and look up at me. And I think I've carried him up. And then, he wants to go back down, and Remy goes back down, and I carry him back down. I mean, that's just what he does with stairs. So that's been the setup. I slept up here. Voods and Remy have slept downstairs. When Remy wakes up in the morning, he comes up and licks my face. Yep. And Remy is good at going up and down stairs. He's very careful, and he does a good job. So this has now happened twice. If I leave the house for any length of time, I don't even know when this happens, but I have left the house, I've come back in, Voodoo is always downstairs when I come back. I mean, on the couch sometimes on the floor, but always downstairs.
Where he started downstairs when you come back.
He's usually in the same spot, but
Yep.
something must be going on, because Voods just puked up a big part of my running t-shirt that isn't even on the floor up here. He kept it in the drawer that was a crack open, pulled out some, ate what he pulled out, and then wandered back downstairs, curled up where he had been before, and acted all innocent. Mm-hmm. He's a terrible sneaky dog. He's probably a crime genius. He's a genius criminal, because he knows how to cover his tracks. And it's very hard to find the evidence, because he doesn't like put it in the middle of the floor. It's like in the pile somewhere. He's eaten half a t-shirt, but he hasn't really moved the t-shirt. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. He's like Ocean's 11 Voodoo style. And then he must go down the stairs. I mean, I am almost, we should set up the canary camera, because I bet he's like rolling down the stairs. I bet he's just like doing just horrible things, but then he's just always just like curled up and innocent and like do. I was just sleeping. I don't know. I can't get up those stairs. That's ridiculous. Oh. So yeah, it hasn't quite broken him of that habit yet. And we did have some sessions today about how to, if he is going for something, how I should startle him a little bit and get his attention and stop him from doing it.
Yeah, stopping him from getting it in the first place is the key, not to like let him get it and then correct.
Yeah, tugging him with it or trying to get it out of his mouth is a whole different process for him, right? If he gets it in his mouth, then it's sort of that action is completed. But yeah, I had a toilet paper roll, because Voods likes toilet paper too, that I put on a dresser, the TV stand, actually. And when Michael was here, I was like, well, we can put the toilet paper out. And just in that moment, Remy went over to the TV stand, grabbed the toilet paper roll, and brought it into the kitchen where we were and started wanting to play with it. And Michael was like, oh, is that it? I said, yeah, Remy was not the suspect. But again, the brothers are like trading off, being miscreants. Because then Vood could be like, it wasn't me. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
Stop yelling at me, you guys.
Yeah, stop yelling at me. So they're still partners in crime, those two. I don't know. Hasn't fixed that.
Yeah. So their training is done. It's really given us a start where they've kind of just been working on like recall and sit, but that is the foundation for everything else. And he's given us some good tips. Here in Florida, everything is pretty mellow. Some of the work we were having done on the house is mostly done.
Some is mostly done, which is about right, yes.
The concrete repair, basically all they need to do is put the screen back on and the railing back on. Put a railing back on.
There's a big hole.
I have kept any dogs from running off the porch, which is good. Today, so I've been repainting the floor, and I painted like part of it yesterday and then like moved a bunch of the furniture onto today, moved a bunch of furniture onto the painted part and then did the rest. And oh my God, like the bubbled paint from like the last round you had done where like water had just gotten under there. I think I scraped paint for an hour on the porch. It was not enjoyable, but it's done. And so it's like, I got all the paint scraped and I was like, anyone who needs an elevator needs to go outside now because you're not allowed to walk on this thing.
I'm going to paint it now. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like 8 hours before you walk on it. So we made it 6 or 7 and just took one quick trip. So it's fine. The seawall is not done, but allegedly next week they're maybe going to start on the dock. And then I also found out today that our bathroom renovation, a desperately needed bathroom renovation in our guest bathroom, is going to start like maybe in a couple weeks. So there will be no peace in the household, but we're getting a lot of broken stuff fixed. So
at least I'm bringing back the 2 miscreants too, so that'll be good.
Yeah, just make it a little crazier. But at least the porch will be all fixed and good for them.
Yeah, that's true.
So
they fix that railing.
I know. That's dog updates. In my haste to get going, because we don't have a lot of time to podcast tonight, I skipped Administrative Corner.
Yes.
Which I love, and I know you love.
Get in the corner. Huddle in the corner.
Okay. So here's Administrative Corner. It appears that like every month on my Jen Runs with Dogs account, I'm going to get this challenge from Instagram to get 1.09 million views on my reels to earn their bonus, which is great. So we don't normally talk dollars here, but like, let's talk dollars. So if I get 1.09 million views by the 23rd of every month, they give me $1,000
on any number of reels, right? It doesn't have to be one reel.
I can post 50,000 reels if I want to.
1.09 million.
1.09 million. So it works out to like I need 30,000 views a day, which we get with like 2 or 3 reels with how I share them. So that's great. Like $1,000 a month. Like that's nothing to sneeze at. That's like real. There's years I didn't make.
That's almost the
money.
heartworm medicine. Yeah.
No kidding. I mean, Voods has been really keeping us busy. Like his visits to the neurologist are not covered by the pet insurance because it's a pre-existing condition. So in a year, we maybe will have covered those 2 neurologist visits.
He loves that hospital, though. He just loves that Miami spa.
All right, Voods, you got to let me pay off the first ones.
Voods, can we got to market you a little bit better, Voods. You got to make some money.
All right, but I logged into Facebook this week, which I'm not a super active Facebook user. Like our content, we have a Facebook page for the dogs, same golden ratio 4 like everything else. And just everything that we post to Instagram auto posts to Facebook. So that's what's there. So all the posts are there. And I got a message when I logged into Facebook that's like, hey, do you want a Facebook Reels challenge? And I didn't even know Facebook had Reels. Apparently it's new. And because they're like, none of the young people want to come on boring ass Facebook, but maybe if we make it like TikTok, except you suck at Reels on Instagram, whatever. Facebook Reels challenge. They don't now, like Instagram, they're like a goal, 1.09 million.
Strangely specific, but it's a goal.
You get a $1,000 bonus. So I know exactly what I'm going for. Facebook is like, you can earn a bonus based on the views that you get on your Reels. but it doesn't give me a goal. It doesn't give me a challenge. It's just like, get views on your reels, and you can get in 1 month $35,000.
I think dog rates could get $35,000. We might not get 30.
I have no idea. Maybe I need like 50 million views to get the $35,000.
Beyonce
I
gets.
have no idea.
Beyonce gets that.
And they also have a views on your posts challenge, which is the same thing. Like, they don't tell you how much. They don't give you a goal to hit. It's just like, you will get a bonus based on how many views your posts get. Who knows how they give it to me.
This is very
But there's
sus.
money accruing in my dashboard.
Sus.
Like, not a ton of money. And we don't have that many followers on Facebook. It's kind of like old people.
We love you, but
it's
Facebook's
not true.
an older platform.
Yeah, it's like some of my high school friends, like the people I recognize, some of my high school friends, some of the people from the rescue group, who I think are just not really active on Instagram and Twitter, but they're on Facebook. But anyway, if you end up logging into Facebook, like I do on occasion, like I don't do a lot of, I don't post anything on my personal account on Facebook, and like maybe once a day I'll log in to see what like my 3 friends from high school who I still care about are like up to see pictures of their dogs or whatever. But if you find yourself occasionally logging into Facebook, if you will follow our account and look at our posts and help me take more of Mark Zuckerberg's money, that would be great. It's the same stuff that you'll see in the other places.
That's right. There's nothing special there. Yeah.
No. I mean, like I'm post the same reels that I'm posting on the Jen Runs with Dogs for the challenge. I'm also posting them on the Facebook, and then all of our, the daily snaps post there, the photos of the day post there. So everything posts there. Where if you just like go to the Golden Ratio page on Facebook and like scroll through shit and give us some views, and maybe then we'll pay off Food's bills. If I get $35,000 from Facebook, we will throw a huge party. I will send presents to everybody who requests one. I will send like a postcard to with the $35,000 I get from Facebook.
They don't want presents. They want personal visits from the dogs.
Oh my God.
We'll be driving around the country.
If we get $35,000 from Facebook, so this will be by February like 23rd, we'll do a big meetup in Key West for anybody who wants to come down.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, this whole thing bothers me, right? Because I like rules, and like not having a goal and not telling you what the metrics are, I find just really cheesy. This is just like, we can just decide if we're going to give you money or not. Just try. And there's no way to appeal or to tell them we've reached a goal. It's annoying.
No, like on Instagram, it's not even the number of views you get or how much they pay you. So like when I have like the first 1,000 views on a reel, like when the month starts, whatever, it starts on like the 23rd for me. When I get the first 1,000 views on my reels, I get like $100 in bonus. But to get $1,000, I have to get over 1 million views, right? So the earlier views get you more money.
Sure.
And I think if you have, like, if we had one reel that kind of went super viral and got 1 million views, I don't know that it would count the same as having a bunch of them that got like 25,000. So you don't know exactly how much you get per view, and it definitely varies. But at least I know if I get 1.09 million, I get the $1,000 at the end of the month, and they pay it out. Like I was looking at the bank account today, I got a $917 deposit for December that was like half of the one that started in November and half of the one in December. So they're paying us the money that we got.
That's something.
Yeah, but I know it'll top out at $1,000 when I get the 1.09 million views. Yeah, the Facebook one, meh.
Yeah, too suspicious.
I can be like, all right, well now whatever my bonus is right now is. I'll tell you what it is. I've had 27,000 views and I have $172. So I'm not anywhere close to. Oh, I'm sorry. I have 27,000 views. I have $174. I got a long way to go to get to $35,000.
Do you need 30 times that many views?
Yeah.
More.
So
35.
5 or 6 million views, maybe? Which I'm not going to get because I have a way smaller audience on Facebook.
Yeah, and I've watched it like a million times, but that doesn't help. You know,
it doesn't count. Like on Instagram,
if I had a million computers, maybe.
I found the thing on Instagram that's like it only counts one view per person.
Oh, get out!
Yeah, so if you watch it
overnight,
100 times,
didn't work.
No, a bunch of people tried it and the numbers weren't going up, and I found some like deep buried document that was just like a view on a video is it's basically unique people viewing it.
God, remember that scene in Ferris Bueller where they run the car backwards and it doesn't take the miles off?
Yep.
It's just like that. You're running all these videos all night and it doesn't increase the viewers.
I guess they figured somebody might do that.
Well, of course. Everybody might do that. Come on. Why not?
It's like that band. There was some band they put up on Spotify or Pandora, where you get paid per stream if you're a band. And they put up like a 1 minute of silence.
Yeah.
And had to ask their fans to just play it overnight while they slept. And so they would play for like 8 hours. And, and whoever it was, Spotify, and they were like, good for that, man. Like, do you know how little we're paying them? Like, if they get an extra $1,000 a month, like, fuck, it's fine. Like,
the gimmick alone is worth the press we're getting from this gimmick is worth it. I think it was Pandora, but who knows?
Yeah. So anyway, if you're on Facebook, add the Golden Ratio page to your list and help us take Mark Zuckerberg's money. They're not going to be giving $35,000 a month, one, to us, but two, to anybody for that long. Like, they're going to give up this paying absurd amounts for content eventually.
Someone's going to sue them because of this whole vagueness.
You could do that. You're a lawyer.
Sue them for $35,000 because you're like,
class action.
You didn't give me you didn't say I couldn't make it. Class action, yeah.
I know some people.
Class action's good for the lawyers. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thus ends Administrative Corner.
I liked it. This is a good Administrative Corner, as always.
Oh, and if you are a person who has ordered, or whatever, got a Hopper keychain or a Guaco pin, the pins have just shipped recently. These are for Boston Marathon donations, but if you're missing for some reason your Hopper keychain still, drop me a DM or email me, thegoldenratio4@gmail.com.
Postal Service hates our actions. They hate those little envelopes.
The post office hates us mailing those little envelopes. Somebody in Texas got theirs and they're like, yeah, it came and it said like postage due, but then it was crossed out. And I'm like, the thing doesn't even weigh an ounce, and I paid for like the thick envelope shipping, so who knows what
I think it's worth saying. You've sent a lot of the blue envelopes or green envelopes, whatever they were, those plastic ones.
Blue, yeah.
We got some back, and you don't have a return address on there.
Yeah, I think our mail lady, and one of them just had
so much for postal secrets. Yeah, and privacy. She's like, oh, that's Jen. She's sending all these blue envelopes.
There's only one lady mailing all these blue envelopes.
We had to pay like 17 cents. And then I was like, I gave her a quarter, and she said, well, I have to take it back to the post office to get a receipt and give you change. I can't give you change. So she came back and gave me an envelope with 8 cents a day later.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that just is old-fashioned.
It's terrible.
Old-fashioned.
Anyway, so that's Administrative Corner. The pins are not, they have all been mailed, but they're in transit. But if you're missing a Hopper keychain, or if it's like next week, if you haven't gotten your pin and you're in the U.S., let me know and I'll send out a replacement.
I love Administrative Corner.
All right, you got a German word of the week?
Not specifically. I mean, you were saying boot camp was a good action because this is the boot camp for Voods and Remy, but it's just back to, and I think we may have talked about some of these before, like the German words to train dogs are anecdotally good words to train dogs, right? Because they're very guttural and they do attract the dog's attention. So instead of like down, you say Platz. Platz.
Yeah.
And sit is Sitz, which is pretty good, but the TZ sound is pretty distinctive too. But then there's a German word that I don't know why I know this so well, but you say fass. Fass.
You like that word. I've heard you say that before.
Which is bite, which means bite, bite. Or like attack, attack. Yeah. So that's...
All right. Fass.
Fass.
Do you use the B, the S set?
It is S set, yeah. It means grab. It means like grasp, grab. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like grab him, get him, fass.
Fass.
I don't know why I like that. Yeah.
It's a good one. Well, Taste of the Keys this week. Holy cow. A couple weeks ago, we talked about a gator. The gator is here, man. It was swimming around in the open water that you can see from our back porch.
The gator might be a crocodile.
I'm sorry, it is a crocodile.
We're not sure.
This is no. I've seen the pictures up close because
he has refused comment.
He is, my friend keeps calling it is camped out across the canal from our friend's house.
Who also has a dog that we like.
Who has a golden who comes and swims here. And today she sent me a picture that her neighbor took of the croc with a raccoon.
In its mouth. Not playing
dead raccoon.
Scrabble in its mouth.
In its mouth. Yeah. So it's quite concerning. They said 8 to 10 feet long.
It's a big looking. It looks the size of our kayaks.
It's big.
It's a big freaking.
It's big.
Croco gator.
Oh yeah, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that it's been out in the open water, like, it's all the rage on Nextdoor talking about the gator.
Finally, some good content on Nextdoor.
Nextdoor is finally interesting. And someone's like, somebody on our street was like, it came past my house down on the end of Marlin and went out into the Sound. So we're gonna keep an eye out. I was gonna go over today to our friend's house and photograph it. I was like, I'm gonna paddleboard over, and she's like, don't. You can take a picture of it from my porch.
That thing's gonna chomp you. Seriously. Do not pet a gator or a crocodile.
No, I know better than that.
They're chompy.
Mostly.
They're nippy. They bite. They bite. Yeah. Do I need to show you pictures of my finger? That was just Buttercup.
So anyway, it's a Croco Man.
Yeah. And don't let Guaco Man find the Croco Man.
We have extra protection now because the booms are still up for the construction, so it couldn't get up on our beach.
True.
But yes, I will keep an eye out, and maybe tomorrow I'll have time to go over to our friend's house and take a picture of the gator.
Yeah, needless to say, her dog is no longer going outside without supervision.
No, like normally the dog swims in the canal. She's like, obviously that's not happening, but I can't even let her out because the croc's just hanging out in their canal.
Croc,
and Guac would do it too. If he saw the croc out there, he'd totally swim at it. And
oh my God.
Bad.
Crocs hang out for a living. They hang out until they snap at you.
Yeah.
Then they got you. There's a whole movie about that.
If that croc came after Guaco Man, I'd kill that crocodile. I'd be swimming out, like jumping on its back, stabbing it in the head. Save my Guaco Man. I don't want to think about it. All right, let's change the subject. You're road tripping home.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, but it's
going
to be an extended trip because I don't want to drive 42 hours in one day.
Yeah, so you'll be home Saturday. The squad will be reunited. Hopefully, in time for us to have a chilly dinner together.
I'll wear a sweater. Ooh. Brr.
Yeah, I bought a pair of jeans just in case one of these occasions would come up.
Ooh.
It's in the back of my closet.
It's a big step for you.
I hate them, but I really hate being cold. Though I may just bring a blanket. I mean, that's in Key West, when it gets cold like that, when it's like down in the 60s or God forbid, like in the 50s, all the restaurants have baskets of blankets and they'll give you them to sit with. So I may just, and I've brought my own before.
Yeah, that one restaurant had really soft blankets.
It had these like chenille. Is that the word, chenille?
It sounds good.
Those really silky but thick, soft, warm ones.
Captain and chenille. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'll just bring a blanket. But we'll see. Anyway, I miss you, and I'm glad you're coming home. I also miss the pinto bean, and to a lesser extent, Remoulade, but I do not miss his barking. And I love being able to have stuffy toys out and have all the baby gates open.
And Vood's not eating it?
Yeah, it's so much less stressful not worrying about Vood's eating everything and not having Remy barking at everything.
He's one sneaky guy. He's a sneaky guy, that guy.
No.
He's acting all innocent, though. Potato.
All right, well, we will see each other soon. And for everybody else, until next week, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Yeah, don't bite anyone unless they ask you.
Bye.
Bye.